Chat, it's that time. Music's off, headset is on, and it's time to go racing at Spa. Hopefully. I'll explain why in a minute. It's the Belgian Grand Prix on RBTV. Today's watch along is ready to go. As we say hello, everybody. Welcome to another watch along here on RBTV. That camera is now in the right spot. I'm Robbie Basil. Thank you so much for being with me here this morning. It is going to be a very interesting race. I can tell you that now because we don't even know if we're going to start on time today, which is great because I don't know. I mean, it's a very tricky track right now out at Spa. Rain really coming down out there, but you heard multiple racers saying we don't know if we're going to start on time. We don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is that I'll take you through the whole race, no matter when the race starts or ends. I will be here with you guys, which is going to be so exciting for me. But yeah, we're just usually we're about 8 minutes away from getting underway. But let's real quick take a look at the grid order, and we'll pull up for you guys right now. So we know the McLarens will be up front with Lando and Piastri. Then it's Leclerc and Verstappen, row 2. Row 3, Albon and Russell. Yuki Tsunoda and Hadjar in row 4. Lawson and Bortoleto are together in 9th and 10th. Then it's Ocon and Behrman. We'll talk about the Hasses in a second. Then we have Pierre Gasly and Nico Hulkenberg, 13th and 14th. Then we have Colapinto and Lance Stroll moves up because from what I've heard, there's going to be 4 cars starting in the pit lane. We'll confirm that for you when in just a couple of minutes. It'll be Sainz, Hamilton, Antonelli, and Fernando Alonso starting in the pit lane. Yeah, it is going to be completely chaotic, and I cannot wait for this to start. Yes, we have Sainz, Hamilton, Antonelli, Alonso starting in the pit lane. And let's actually show you how we're going to be able to follow the race today. So we'll have this screen load up. It'll be in the top right. That's not right. Brilliant start. This is showing that, and we need to pull up this one. So let me get back to here, and or not. Both of them don't work. So I'll work on fixing these technical problems for you great people right now. Yeah, apologies for the technical errors, the technical difficulties. Now it should work. Or not, we'll find out. Boom. There we go. Yeah, that is your order, and that is your lap counter. So we'll have both of those up the entirety of the race. It'll also show you the color of the flag that you can see it based on the color in the top right. You also hear me saying what is going on, but yeah, usually we're about 5 minutes away from going green. Or well, the first light's going green, and then we do the formation lap. But honest to God, I have no idea what's about to happen. I don't think anyone does. And that is going to be miraculous. I am scared. I'm very scared, chat. You can see these guys up at race control in the pit lane. It is going to be a very intriguing start today because, like I said, it's raining. It's raining bad. It was raining hard earlier. We know the drivers are starting on intermediate tires for the most part. But yeah, it's gonna be madness. And I hope you guys are ready for the madness. Real quick, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys hit the subscribe button. We did gain a sub yesterday, so shout out the new sub. But yeah, it's if you guys could hit the like or subscribe button, yeah, it'd be greatly appreciated. So let's run you through what the hell is going on. So everyone's starting on inters for now. Right now, they're just going through the intro. The greatest intro in sports. Dang it. It's the F1 intro. I think we could all agree with that, right, chat? Like, everyone would agree. I hope everyone, I know not a lot of people like to write in chat, and that's okay. But I hope if when you're back home, we can all agree that the F1 intro is the best intro and is one of the best intros in sports. The NFL has some good ones too, but we'll see in the comparison. Welcome to my favorite time of the year. Welcome to round 13 at Spa. I'm your host, Robbie Basil. You can see my name over here. And let's go over the track again. So 7 kilometers, longest track on the calendar. Top speed of 223 miles an hour. We won't see that today. 44 laps. Track race lap record is held by Sergio Perez, of all people. Take a look at the tires available. We'll have the slicks and the wet tires available. Obviously, a lot of people starting on the intermediate tires, which is to be expected, especially with the conditions. But I don't think this is going to be as chaotic as the Silverstone, with everyone changing tires. It feels like every 5 minutes, but I don't think it's going to be like that at all. Let's go over the grid again, because why not? Alonso and Antonelli, 19th and 20th. I guess they're not starting in the pits anymore. I don't know what's going on there. 17th and 18th, Sainz and Hamilton. 16th, Stroll. 15th, Colapinto. 14th, Hulkenberg. 13th, Gasly. 12th and 11 are the Hasses of Behrman and Ocon, with Gabby Bortoleto starting the top 10. Then it's Lawson and Hadjar in 8th and 9th for V-Carb. Then it's 7th for Yuki Tsunoda, one of if not his highest start as a Red Bull driver in like the main team. Then we have George Russell, the lead Mercedes today. Then we have Alex Albon, who will be the lead Williams car. Then the front 2 rows of Max Verstappen with Charles Leclerc right next to him. And then it will be a McLaren front row lockout. The 68th time that McLaren have locked out the front row. It's Norris first with Piastri second. And you can follow everything going on with the race using the timetable to over here. There we go. So you can follow all the madness. Yes, so they will be started. So we will only have 16 cars on the grid. So hopefully I don't screw that up. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I'm excited, chat. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, we have all the timing screens up right in front of me. We just got word that the formation lap will be started behind the safety car. So we'll see how many laps they do behind the safety car. I have a feeling they're going to red flag this immediately. Knowing where we are, I mean, granted, it's we have one of the most dangerous corners. Or kinks. I don't know what you would call. What is Eau Rouge a corner? Type 1 in the chat if you think it is a corner. Eau Rouge and the Radion, like, who the hell knows what's going to happen, man? I'm ready. We're locked in. Did anyone go to wets? I don't think so. So we'll have Lando starting on the inside. You have everyone standing up. The ponchos and umbrellas. Everybody is ready for the madness to start. And I hope that you guys are as well. There's the trophy. It reflects changes in local industry and the positive hope for the future or something. I don't know. It's a cool looking trophy, though. As Lando Norris will, behind the safety car, will start to get us underway here at Spa-Francorchamps. As the clock strikes 3, the light goes green, and we will start the formation lap. And Lando finally gets his car moving. Lando will be starting on the inside, obviously, at turn 1. Piastri will definitely try to attack him, but you could see the spray and how much there is. I mean, last time we did Formula 1 was going on, we had Silverstone, but they started the race behind, like they did an extra formation lap, and you saw the spray there, this is completely different. This is a completely different animal here today at Spa. So it's a McLaren front row lockout. We got the fastest pit stop is Ferrari, which is very interesting. You know, because it's Ferrari. You have the 4 cars in the pit lane. They just left the pit, so Sainz, Hamilton, Antonelli, and Alonso are all on the move. Previous winners, Lewis Hamilton won here last time after not crossing the line first because of George Russell being disqualified. Then it was, before that, it was 3 years of Verstappen dominance. But before even that, Hamilton won with Mercedes back in 2020. So I'm excited, chat. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think anyone knows what's gonna happen, but yeah, this is gonna be interesting. 389,000 people, a record-breaking Belgium weekend attendance out at Spa. They were treated to a pretty disappointing sprint yesterday. Oh, we have a red flag. Red flag. Starting procedure suspended. GG's in the chat. We're not starting a race today. We're going to have a minute. Red flag, red flag. So we're off to a hot start today. You can barely see the car behind going up the hill. Fair enough. Red flag to the start of the race. So we will not be starting the race today, as of right now. So we will have a minute to do really whatever, as the starting procedure has been suspended. Red flag is out. So hot start today, chat. As expected, it is a red flag. And we are not starting the race just yet. So everyone will, I believe, dive into the pits. And we'll see what happens next as all the crews make their way towards the pit boxes, and we will have a little while of waiting. So I don't know what to do. What do we think? I mean, I was going to go on and like do some stuff with you guys, but nothing worked last night when I was trying to build it. So we're just going to stay like this for a bit. Everyone will make their way along the pit lane. The order will remain the same. Let's take a look at some shots of the rain with the safety car on the move. Yeah, what a start, man. Real entertaining stuff off the jump. Yeah, we got a while. I think we got 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, red flag is out, so the blankets will go back on those intermediate tires. Does anyone know what the score of the Arsenal game is? They're playing a friendly with Newcastle. Does anyone know? 2-2. Brilliant. Jacob Murphy scores an equalizer. Awesome. I think Sven Botman got hurt. Someone's saying Botman can't stay fit. And Arsenal are playing a good old preseason friendly today. Hopefully there'll be a chance to get a bit of the Prem when my school year starts. Yeah, Sven Botman played 24 minutes and I think got hurt. When it rains, Max rains. Hell yeah. I back that. Good sign. I love it. Someone had, oh my god. Someone put up a sign that says, "I've come all the way from Mexico to see George win." George was doing the T pose or whatever he does. That's funny. Now, hold on one sec, boys. So welcome back, chat. Right now we are in a red flag, which might send us to a break on RBTV in just a couple of minutes. The issue right now is visibility, and that is why we are red flag. Lando Norris saying that the track conditions are not terrible, but it's the visibility that is poor. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, everything's your red flag. Drivers got out of the car, and it looks like we may have a little bit before we go racing. So let me move this over here. Yep, get the keyboard out. We haven't had one of these before on RBTV. A bit of a delay. So yeah, right now we're waiting for something to happen, which is pretty unfortunate. No update on when we could see a start or when and what could happen. Like, Liam Lawson's out of the car as well, so yeah, it looks like we might have a little bit, chat. Let's take a look at the visibility. Like, so like they were saying, the 2 hours does not start yet. 2 hours is the max time for a race once it goes green. That it must finish within 2 hours. Yeah, right now we are red flagged. I kind of don't know what to do. Yeah. We'll be back in a minute on RBTV. We are in a race delay here on what is set to be a still intriguing Belgian Grand Prix. We'll be right back. Hello, chat. How are we today? Unfortunately, the race here at Spa is under red flag conditions and is currently about to experience a big rainstorm. So the start to the race is delayed. You're also dealing with some slight technical issues as well. So currently trying to fix all of that before we go back to green flag racing. But yes, right now the Belgian Grand Prix start was abandoned. It is a red flag. And that is why the screen you are seeing right now is up. I'll be back on camera soon, but for what we're hearing, this race might not start for a while. And the heavy rain is back again. So, yes, we are under red flag conditions. Red flag, red flag. For now, I'll be back with you guys, hopefully, in the next couple of minutes. While you're here, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. You'll also be able to hear a little bit of music to help pass the time. The crowds are energized. They want to see racing, but unfortunately, they have not seen any yet. So it'll be a little bit till we go racing and the madness truly begins. I'll keep you guys updated with any knowledge of what's going on, but for right now, it is a red flag, and it looks like we may not go racing for a little bit. I'll talk to you guys in just a couple of minutes. Good morning, chat. Once again, if you're just joining now, the race is red flagged. The Belgian Grand Prix has been red flagged for nearly just over 40 minutes now. I'll be returning when there is an update on. I'll go back on camera when there's more to come in terms of news, and I'll be able to talk you guys through the entirety of the Belgian Grand Prix. Once again, the race is delayed due to substantial rain out at Spa. But right now, we are just waiting for the rain to clear. Looks like it's coming down again, so it might still be a while. Hopefully, we get started around 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's just a waiting game now, chat. It's just a waiting game. So hopefully, I'll have an update for you guys soon, and then we can watch together these 20 cars go racing in Spa. Hope to hear from you soon. Chat, we just got an update. According to what we just heard, the clock did start for how long this race can be when the formation lap occurs, which is a 3-hour clock. So right now we're heading towards almost 2 hours left for the race to be complete. And then there is still a chance that there could be laps clipped off. Once again, we'll confirm all of that in just a little bit. But if that is confirmed, oh boy, this could be a very interesting and a very intriguing, even more intriguing than we thought, Belgian Grand Prix. So that's the latest update we have right now. But yeah, the rain is coming down hard again. So hopefully we'll have an update in about the next 10 minutes or so. Because the last thing you need right now is laps being clipped off of such a big race like this. So hopefully I'll have more for you soon. But right now it's still a rain delay. But the clock, as of right now, has started. And we'll see when we start here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Chat, I have good news. The only thing we have right now is a yellow flag. We might be going to green flag racing here at the Belgian Grand Prix sooner rather than later. Actually, you know what? I'm tired of this screen being on. Looks like they're still clearing the track out, but welcome back. I'm finally back on screen. Welcome back, chat. After a long delay of me not being here, I'm back. Guess who's back again? Hopefully the VOD enjoys themselves watching that long as hell delay. But it looks like we might start seeing something soon. As we see our map, there's double yellows everywhere. So they're still trying to clear the track. That's what we're waiting on. We had a long weather delay. We're up to nearly an hour of a weather delay here at Spa. But the race should hopefully be starting soon. I'm trying to stay energized, just trying to stay excited. I'm Robbie Basil, by the way. For those who don't know, welcome to the stream. My apologies for not really being here. When you're alone, there's not really a lot to talk about, especially when the chat really wasn't here today. Nothing against you guys, y'all are great, but not a lot going on in the sporting world. We just couldn't go out and tune into something else real quick and then just come back, unfortunately. But yeah, we're nearly ready to go here at the Belgian Grand Prix. A day that has seen a lot of nothing, to be honest. Yeah, what do we think, guys? Will we start the race? When will we start the race is the better question. I think they're singing Sweet Caroline again. What are they playing? That's not going to show. Lovely. Yeah, we are nearly a couple minutes away from going racing. Hopefully, we still have to see the 10-minute warning. But I'm just trying to bring up morale. I'm here. I'm alive. Yeah, there was a couple questions in the chat like, why aren't you here? Yeah, nah. I don't think y'all would want to hear me rumble about random stuff for 10 minutes, for 45 minutes or whatever. But I don't think that would have made great content. But yes, I am back. W's in the chat. Yeah, we are just waiting for things to get back underway eventually. Because this is taking forever. I mean, I'm just intrigued to see if we get all 44 laps done. That's like my main thing right now. Or if they set it right where the clock started already. What is that photo? It's Lewis and Nico Rosberg on a 4x4. What? Whatever that is. What is that? I don't know. All right, looks like drivers are getting helmets back on, so it might be time to go racing soon. Some of them, at least. Max Verstappen is, well, right there. Just being Max. I don't know. First weekend for Red Bull without Christian Horner after he was sacked during the long-ish break. What'd y'all do during the weather delay? I didn't know what to do. The safety car is now driving around the circuit. Oh, it's the medical car. It's driving around the circuit. So what we're learning from the medical car is that there's still a little bit of a spray. Oh, don't hit the back of the track. Oh my god, yellow flags are out again. Do not hit the back of the freaking cleaner or whatever that is. Good. Brilliant. Up through Eau Rouge we go with the medical car. Eau Rouge still looks like madness. People are giving a couple of claps and waves to the camera and the safety car as it roars its way down the Kemmel Straight. Hold on. Oh, dude, the safety car almost lost the track end. How does that happen? The safety car almost just sent it into the wall. Oh my god, what is happening? Into the left-hander goes the safety car around 10 and enters 11. Now that was funny as hell. Honestly, God. All right, there's Kimi Antonelli with Bono. There's Andrea Stella with Lando Norris. Norris from Piastri, Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon, Russell, your top 6. There's Liam Lawson. Still in his jacket, so we still got a little bit. We have yellow flags for some reason all over the track. Yeah, the clock hasn't started yet, so I don't know what's going on. Around the sweeping turn 15 we go with the safety car. It is zooming around the track. Just chilling, honestly. After our long delay, looks like we finally might see some racing. As the safety car goes off the road, and I don't know what just happened. Or is that the medical car? I don't know what's happening. But yeah, that's our first full lap of the day with like actual speed. Now let's take a look at what are the track conditions like right now. Track temperature 25.2 degrees Celsius. Not as much, barely any wind at all. Air temperature is about 15.8 degrees Celsius. Humidity is high. Pressure is, I don't know, I remember a lot about pressure. Pressure? What pressure? Am I right? And of course, the conditions are still technically rainy, but there's really not much rain at all. There's Piastri and then Isaac Hadjar. Yeah, looks like, well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, we just got our update of when the race will begin. 10:20 a.m. chat, Eastern time. We will finally get a race. W's in the chat. We're finally going racing an hour 20 after we were supposed to. We have just under 15 minutes till we go racing again. I am so ready, chat. I've been ready, yeah, for a week. And now we're finally gonna go racing. Finally. Finally. Looks like helmets are starting to go back on. Race suits as well. There's Max Verstappen. He's almost ready to go. That just brought more energy, I think, to the stream, you know. Like, we're all ready for chaos. And I hope that everything about today improves. Boosting morale for sure, I hope for all of you. Because I know today's stream has been disappointing as hell, and I can't blame y'all for that. Race will resume in 14 minutes. 14 minutes. Track looks significantly better. It's now sunny at Spa. There's Toto Wolff, team principal and CEO at Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. How did I get that right the first time? Hamilton couldn't for years. Yeah, finally, stuff is starting to happen, which is good. That is good, chat. That is good. Yeah, the race will start in 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And then it'll be lights out and we can go racing. And hopefully I don't yip it up on commentary. Because who knows? I haven't done an F1 race on like commentary in a year now. So this should be fun. We're going to do the sprint buzz at 6 a.m. If you can't tell, I'm tired already. So yeah, 12 minutes to go till we go racing. This way we should just play the whole intro again and then just go. Yeah, shows will be back in full session. There'll be shows this week on, of course, on my channel. Tuesday, I know there was no show on Friday. Yeah, because NJ Transit sucks, respectfully. Even though I'll probably have to take it more times in my life than not. I'm actually gonna be back in a minute, so this game's gonna go back up again. But I'll be right back. Don't worry. The race starts at 10:20. I'll be back in about 2 or 3 minutes. All right, guys. Sorry about this. I'll be back in 1 sec. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time to go, and we just got some news, and that is where I come back, your host of today's festivities. Welcome back again to the stream. I'm your host, Robbie Basil. After about a 73-minute delay, we are set to be ready to go, and we just got news of how today is going to work. So there's going to be not one, but two laps, full laps, behind the safety car. The race will start behind the safety car in just about 3.5 minutes. So they'll exit the pit lane, and then madness will completely ensue. Not sure how the start will be. I don't know if it's a rolling start, or it'll be a standing start, but it'll be two laps behind the safety car, and then they'll make the decision. So we will lose some racing laps. Not many, but a few. With so little laps to begin with, it's one of those where you don't really know what's going to happen. So, yeah, we're still ready. I mean, I've been ready, though, kind of. Not really. Who knows? Also, shout out Arsenal. They just won. They won against Newcastle, so always shout out to my teams. But yeah, I hope you guys are ready. All of my timing screens say we're ready to go green. And yeah, we're just about 2 minutes and 50 seconds away, which let's go over the grid again just so we know what's going on. Lando Norris starts on pole, then Piastri, Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon, Russell, Tsunoda, Hadjar, Lawson, and Bortoleto complete the top 10. Then it's Ocon. Then it's Behrman, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, and Stroll would be the 16 that start on the grid. And Sainz, Hamilton, Antonelli, Alonso were supposed to start in the pits. I don't know what's going to happen to them now, but it is set to be a very intriguing and festive race. And what I mean by the festive part is that there will be hopefully a lot going on in this race, if you know what I mean. The sprint let down from yesterday. Qualifying was chaos. Now we have this. And in just about 2 minutes, we will find out how this race will really go down. And to me, that's what makes everything great, because honestly, come on. We've been waiting for this race for almost an hour and 20 minutes nearly. Oh, really? We've been waiting for this race since Silverstone ended. So, yeah, it's going to be great. Just a couple of notes. I didn't know this till just now. It's Yuki Tsunoda's 100th race. So it's 100th Grand Prix start. Speaking of 100, it's also the 100th anniversary of the Belgian Grand Prix. That I did know. The first one being back in 1925. There's Franco Colapinto in the 43. This is going to be absurd, and I cannot wait. Lando's starting on the inside. Oscar trying to go to the outside if we do a standing start. 1 minute to go. 1 minute till the cars are good to go. You see those intermediate tires on. The blankets are getting taken off the tires, and we are finally ready to go. Yes, chat. We're finally ready to go. Just about 40 seconds till madness ensues. Once again, you will have your timing sheet, the timetables on what will be your right-hand side, along with the lap counter at the top of that side as well. Just seconds away from this race really being kicked off here at Spa. 15 seconds to go. There's the sign you want to see. It'll be the safety car, then Lando Norris. And something is wrong with my timetable. Are you kidding me? Looks like there's just a small delay with my timing screens. There we go. Everyone on the interiors. There we go. Safety car on the move. And things are starting to finally happen here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Norris, then Piastri, then Leclerc, Verstappen, and Albon all lead us out onto the track. Up to Eau Rouge. Through Radion we go. And now things are really starting to kick off. The big question right now is the spray, the visibility. Is it possible Can we complete a race like this? And the answer to me that I have right now is I don't really know. Still. There's no way they red flag it again. I just think there'll be more laps behind the safety car. They have to start this. Through turns 5, 6, and 7 they go. Behind the safety car, of course. Yes, now the 2-hour clock has begun. So at latest, this race will end at about 12:20 EST. About 6 o'clock there? I don't know, 6 o'clock, I think. It's after 6 in Belgium. All 20 cars are on the track. Yeah. Piastri saying the visibility still not good after Eau Rouge. Of course, we are behind the safety car. Would be very annoying if someone just binned it somewhere just because, like, out of nowhere. Well, hopefully with the cars on the move, it can clear some of the standing water, and then we'll be good to go. Be safe enough to start the race. Out in front, it's Lando Norris with a technically less than 1 second gap to Oscar Piastri. So if it's just even though there is no DRS right now, obviously because we are on inters and the track not being safe. So safety car will go through 16 and 17 now. Everyone, of course, being on those intermediate tires. You can see the tires. If you look at the timing sheet next to me, the tires will be located next to the racer's name. So it'll be the racer's name on the left. And then in the next row, it will be what type of tire they're on. So you can see with the eye with the green circle, that means they're on the intermediate tires. Then to the right of that is the gap to the car in front of them. And you can see lap times and more coming up from that screen. Lap 2 of 44, and Lando Norris leads the way behind the safety car as they go into La Sauce. La Sauce does not look that terrible. So I think we're going to start on lap 3. So this is where the worry is. You out of exit of Eau Rouge. I mean, I don't know. Right, if you need, you can send a 20 car lengths. Oh, jeez. We're really doing this again? Oh, Lord. Are you ready, guys? Are we finally ready? It's finally time to go racing, chat. I think. Honest to God, I don't know. So with that in mind, because insanity is about to ensue, let's put you guys over here, where we usually do the streams, so you can get a good view of me talking, and of course, of the brilliant timing sheets that are on your screen now. As they like to say, it is time to go, hopefully. This stream started nearly 2 hours ago, back at 8:35 EST. And now the cars are back on the track, completing racing laps at 10:25, so 110 minutes later. There's Lewis Hamilton out in P18. He's saying it's dry quickly, so that means, as a good sign, Hamilton's saying it's drying quickly. They still haven't called what's going to happen yet, so this is where it gets a little bit dicey. Still no signal on what's going to happen, and we haven't got any notice from the FIA. As we now head into the chicane. This is right. That's right. Yeah, it looks like one side of the grid is not as good, nice as the other. So they're going to go down the main straight again. Another lap, fastest lap of the race. George Russell, a 2:52.5, as we continue to do laps behind the safety car to clear the standing water. Fastest lap now going to Nico Hulkenberg, a 2:50.729. Out in front, still Lando Norris. Looks like he's speeding up a little bit in terms of speed, in terms of pace and whatever. Yeah, we are finally ready to go, hopefully. Yeah, we've had a lot of waiting, but cars are out. I think that means they're good. It'll be Norris from Piastri. Those two going head to head again. I'm interested to see how many more laps we do. I think it's good. We're just maybe starting out on lap 6, 5 or 6. There's still a lot of water to clear on, like, down the pit straight. There's race control. Y'all got to figure this out, man. Okay. It looks significantly better in Sector 3. I could tell you that right now. But everywhere else on track, who knows? So also, since the race did start behind the safety car, the 2-hour timer, like I said earlier, did start. So according to what I have in front of me, yeah, this is not how I thought the first race we were gonna do on stream was gonna go. Not gonna lie, guys. So right now, an ideal time for the race to be finishing is they're doing another lap. In De La Source they go. Piastri right on the back of Lando. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, we still have a little bit till we go green. The question right now is, how safe is the pit straight? You see the exit of Eau Rouge still, wow, big spray still from the exit of Eau Rouge through that really, really long straight. It's going to be a rolling start, rolling start. Rolling start. All right, it won't be lights out and away we go, at least for now. Rolling start here in Belgium. There will be no lights, only action here at Spa today. That is where I start to go, do my actual job. Right now, the drivers are in the middle of Sector 2 around turns. The lead drivers exited turn 11, now head towards turn 12. All going to bunch together and then go, go, go. Likely now here on lap be on lap 5. So we'll have about 39 to 40 laps of racing. There goes the safety car. Lando Norris will lead us away. They're all bunching now at the exit of turn 15. Norris from Piastri, Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon, Russell, Tsunoda. Then Hadjar, Lawson, Bortoleto, Ocon, Berman, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Stroll, Sainz, Hamilton, Antonelli, and Alonso. I actually don't think the bottom 4 have to pit still. I don't know. This is going to be chaos. There they go, around turn 16 into 17. It looks like it's time to go. Norris speeds up, heads towards the bus stop chicane. We're ready to go green. Norris heads to the bus stop. After this, it's time to go. Norris enters and exits. It is time to go, go, go. Green flag in Belgium. Norris from Piastri and then Charles Leclerc. Norris down into La Sauce. Piastri tries to go down the inside, but Norris blocks him off well. Nothing major so far. Everything's staying the same, at least for turn 1. Into Eau Rouge we go. Piastri putting all sorts of pressure on Lando Norris. As they enter and exit, is still Norris in front, but into the Kemmel Straight, and Piastri is right over all over the gearbox of Lando Norris. Around the outside goes Oscar Piastri, who takes the lead of the race. One McLaren overtaken by another. It's Oscar Piastri who leads the race here at Belgium. Piastri, though, with a poor exit out of turn 7. Norris will try to put the pressure right back on him, but it's a dream start for the Aussie. Piastri, then Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon, the top 5. Carlos Sainz making up a place. He overtook Lance Stroll. But not a lot of anything else happening through the rest of the order. Piastri's gap to Norris about a second already. As they head into turn 12 now, Piastri still in front of Lando Norris by over a second already. Piastri's flying down the road. And now, unfortunately for Norris, he has Charles Leclerc on the back of his gearbox. The Ferrari's going to possibly start putting on some pressure as well. Still Piastri out in front here on lap 5 of the Belgian Grand Prix. Not a lot changing anywhere else. Lando's saying there might be a little bit of an issue, but so far so good for Oscar Piastri. As they head into the bus stop chicane, Max Verstappen putting a little bit of pressure on Charles Leclerc, but the top 4 staying where they are, at least for the moment, other than the flip-flop of the McLarens. Piastri leads us over the line into lap 6 of 44. It looks like Norris may have had an issue with using too much of the ERS or something, because now everything's starting to come back for what was the lead McLaren after qualifying. Piastri still flying up the road. Only 2 changes at all in the order. It was Sainz overtaking Stroll for 16th position. And then, of course, the lead McLaren right now, Piastri, who overtook Lando Norris. Down the Kemmel Straight we go. Charles Leclerc over the back of Norris. And we have an overtake down the inside. Goes George Russell, who overtakes Alex Albon as Russell goes to P5. That was a good move, classy move down the inside there from George Russell. Also down the order, Hamilton overtaking Stroll. Hamilton up to 17th. So we're starting to see a little bit more action. Other than that, many things staying the same. This battle, though, right now we're looking at the battle for P3 as Max Verstappen was starting to put some pressure on Charles Leclerc once again. Gap out in front for Piastri is now under a second. Norris is starting to gain some time on Oscar Piastri this lap. But right now, the next big battle, as I mentioned, is the battle for 3rd place. Max Verstappen less than 2/10 behind Charles Leclerc as they go out and exit turn 15. Charles Leclerc getting all sorts of pressure from Max Verstappen. You can see the spray still on the track there in sector 3 when they go full speed. Here they come towards the bus stop. Lando Norris starting to put a little bit of pressure on Oscar Piastri, just like Verstappen is to Leclerc. Into the bus stop we go, but right now things staying the same. Still at the end of Sector 3 as they start lap number 7. This is chaos. I love it. Not a lot going on. Lots of drivers staying more towards the pit lane side of the pit straight. McLarens are starting to separate. Norris's gap to Leclerc about 2 seconds, and the gap to Piastri for Leclerc is about 3. Right now we're watching a couple battles in the midfield. Lawson starting to head towards the back of his teammate Hadjar. Also down the road, it's Verstappen and Leclerc again is the battle we're watching. As they make their way through 5 and now out of turn 6. And they make their way to the long right-hander in 7. It's still Leclerc ahead of Verstappen, but now the gap is growing exponentially from the McLarens to everyone else. Down to north of 2 seconds for the gap between Norris and Leclerc. Still out in front, Oscar Piastri, who made that move down the Kemmel Straight back a couple laps ago. We are finally underway here in the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm Robbie Basils. Thank you so much for being with me today. We're on lap 7 of 44. Not a lot happening so far, other than the fact that we've already had a change for the lead. As we're riding on board now with Liam Lawson, who's putting all sorts of pressure on his teammate Hadjar. It's a Red Bull and 2 V-Carbs for 7th, 8th, and 9th. And they're all pretty close to each other right now. Not a lot of big gaps, at least for now. But like right now, the smallest gap is between Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, but still no overtake over there. Out towards the back of the field, Lewis Hamilton starting to put some pressure on Carlos Sainz. Hamilton making a push towards the bus stop chicane. It's Hamilton who sends it on Sainz. They almost touch. Leclerc, the Ferrari of Hamilton keeps going in front. He's in front now of Sainz. Aston Martin cut the chicane. I don't know what the hell that was. Or someone cut the chicane. We might have had someone switch tires already. Yes, we had someone pit. It was Antonelli, who for a moment was listed as being on mediums, but no, he's still on intermediates. Everyone's still on inters. But that was a very weird sequence. It looked like one of the Aston Martins possibly just went straight off. The Aston's currently down there in 19th and 20th, is around the outside. Goes Lewis Hamilton on Colapinto. Hamilton up to 15th. So right now, really any overtaking has been done by Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, making up a couple of spots here in the early stages here in Belgium. There's a poor exit there from Franco Colapinto, who's currently 16th position. And Carlos Sainz is starting to make some moves, starting to push forward a little bit. Hasn't been able to get close enough to think about an overtake, just not right now at this moment. Right now we are riding on board with Kimi Antonelli, who's trying to get into this fight as well. As they go through the exit of 13 ahead towards turn 14 and 15, the long right-hander, still Antonelli, who is behind, is still wet in some areas, but it's really starting to dry up, particularly where they are right now. 15, 16, 17 is listed as dry, along with turns 1, 2, and 3 in the early stages of the Kemmel Straight. Down the order more we go. Hamilton making a move. Down the inside goes Lewis Hamilton into the bus stop chicane. Hamilton gets in front of Nico Hulkenberg, and now Hamilton goes up to 14th position. Brilliant racing there by the battle of the 2 experienced drivers in Hamilton and Hulkenberg. Right now, we see that the McLarens have really started to make a gap on Charles Leclerc. It's a 3.6-second gap from Leclerc to Norris. It's about a 5-second gap from Leclerc to Piastri, who continues to lead this race. What is starting to grow, that was starting to grow for a little bit, was the gap between Leclerc and Verstappen, but not anymore. Verstappen gained about 2/10 just a moment ago, and Verstappen still on the gearbox pretty much of Charles Leclerc as they exit turn 9. Down the grid we go again. Lewis Hamilton is on the back of Pierre Gasly. Big slide there by Pierre Gasly. And that might have opened the door for Hamilton, but not right there, at least, as Hamilton had a brief slide as well. Making moves, and who knows what else is going on as these two continue to fight in the midfield. Right now, not a lot going on, but that could change it a little bit if we start to go to more of a slick tire strategy. When will that happen, or will it happen, is the question. Down the inside goes Lewis Hamilton into 15, and it's Hamilton who overtakes Pierre Gasly. There's not a lot of pace right now in that Alpine, and Lewis Hamilton says thank you very much as he overtakes another car for Ferrari. So Hamilton, really the only driver making moves so far. So we have another fight. Nico Hulkenberg on the back of Pierre Gasly. But it's Gasly who stays in front, in and out of the bus stop. But the Alpine is under serious pressure as Oscar Piastri saying it might not be too far off from the slick tires. Just the straight into turn 5 is too wet for right now. We've seen this story before with Piastri leading, or with big moments with Piastri, especially in the rain. We saw the safety car infringement from Silverstone. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. You have the issue with him aquaplane. It wasn't aquaplaning, but him going off in Australia at the beginning of the season. We'll see if he can get it right this time. The McLarens have something going right for them because there's a 6-second gap between Norris and Leclerc already. Still fighting is Leclerc and Max Verstappen heading to one of the big right-handers. It's Verstappen who stays out in front, stays behind rather, out of the exit of 13. The gap continues to grow from McLaren to everyone else. Well, what's nice is, and I think why everyone's not complaining about it, is that there's a good fight between the two championship contenders. It's not one driver winning all the time. We are on board with Lando Norris, who's falling away a little bit already from his teammate Piastri, gap now up to 1.5. And now it's even more and more it becomes the gap between Norris and Piastri. Must have done something because the gap's already up to 2 seconds. As into turn 1 we go. Leclerc still leading Verstappen down the inside, sending it as Verstappen. They go wheel to wheel as they head towards Eau Rouge, but it's the Ferrari that stays in front for now, up at P3. Oh, that was a big send by Verstappen as they go through Eau Rouge and Raidillon. Here we go, down the Kemmel Straight. Still no DRS, obviously, but the straight line speed of both of those cars really showing themselves now. Verstappen tries to go down the inside, but backs out. It's still Leclerc in front of Verstappen, but the gap continues to grow. Leclerc saying the tires are gone already. So there might be a problem with the Ferrari right now, as we have a possible overtake. But yeah, no, it's not showing anything right now on my screen. The biggest riser so far, actually, we do have an overtake. It's Ollie Behrman who overtakes the other Haas of Esteban Ocon. So the bigger rear wing, which they were talking about with Behrman, is actually starting to is actually working for him. Out in front remains Oscar Piastri here on lap number 11. We're a quarter of the way there already. Right now we see the battle continue with Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. What's also growing is the gap up to 8 seconds, 10 seconds now between Piastri and Leclerc. Piastri's flying. He might actually win this without having to do anything. Make one move and win. Would be a nice way to do it. Piastri, who's won a sprint here before, but hasn't won a full race yet here at Spa. It's down the pit straight we go. Leclerc staying in front for now. Teams are starting to box drivers. Box, Ferrari. Hamilton is pitting. Lewis Hamilton into the pits. What type of tire is it, though? Is it an Inter again? Is it something else? Let's find out. We have Gasly and Hulkenberg into the pits as well, along with Fernando Alonso. It's the medium tires for Lewis Hamilton. So teams are going for it. The madness is starting to happen. It was not a good stop from Alpine. It was a good stop, though, from Sauber as Hulkenberg is back on the track. Now this is where you might see teams. This is where everything starts to happen. I'll see if anyone gains time right away. It might take a second for the mediums to get going, but that will be very interesting to see what the teams do from here. Right now, we're still following the battle between Verstappen and Leclerc. Is down into 13 we go. It is still the Ferrari out in front as we enter now 14. The start of the big right-hander. It's still Leclerc in front. As of right now, the medium tire runners are not gaining time yet. I stand corrected. Is about the same for now, but hold on. Hamilton starting to show some improvements in the back end of Sector 2 as someone pitted. It is one of the McLarens. Oscar Piastri pits from the lead. Piastri pits. They go with the medium tires. It was a slower stop from Oscar Piastri. Leclerc and Verstappen pit as well. Everyone is heading into the pits. Box, nearly everybody. Albon and Russell in as well. Good stop from Ferrari. Can they get out in front of Verstappen? Ferrari almost hit the Williams, rather. Thought it was Verstappen who pitted as well. But the Williams almost slamming into the side of Charles Leclerc. Nothing really changing in terms of the order. DRS enabled. So from the looks of it, the teams that really bottled it, I don't know. I mean, the orders are updating now, but now we got to see what Lando Norris can do on the Inters. Can he get a good enough gap to Piastri? And right now, the answer seems to be no. It is Norris for Piastri, then Tsunoda, Hadjar, and Esteban Ocon. Let's take a look. It was one of the Williams, I think it was Alex Albon, who almost hit Charles Leclerc as all the teams were out in the pit lane. There's Hamilton up in P10. Lewis Hamilton making moves again, getting past Liam Lawson and up into 10th. Hamilton is flying right now. So we go back down the order. Charles Leclerc right on the back of Esteban Ocon, and on the back of Leclerc is Verstappen and Russell. Everyone is right there with Ocon holding up everyone. Lando Norris pits. Charles Leclerc overtakes, as does Verstappen. They both go past Esteban Ocon. Wheel to wheel, they go 3 wide. It's Verstappen in front. Russell overtakes Ocon as well. And right on the back of Ocon is one of the Williams. But it doesn't look like they get the overtake done. Norris out of the pits. He remains ahead of the group of the Ferrari of Leclerc, Verstappen, and Russell. Everyone dives into the pits along with that hasn't pitted already. So they order Norris on the hard tire. What? Okay. The gap is 7 seconds already. How? I'm so lost. So Norris went to the hards, apparently, according to what my timing sheet says, unless it's might be wrong. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap of the race. He's up in the P7. Let's take a look at what happened with Lando Norris. Something must have happened. Oh, it was a mistake with the left front. Yes, the left front tires. Left front tire, they couldn't get it on right away. It's really going to cost Lando. Something has to give. Like, something will give, ideally. But Piastri's already gained a second and a half on Lando from when they came out. The question will be, will anyone have to pit again? Will the mediums go to the end? And right now, my answer is I don't know. You don't know what will go to the end. The hards might. Fastest lap of the race now goes, I believe, to Oscar Piastri. A 150.884 for Oscar. Because style can now start seeing DRS be enabled. George Russell was trying to use DRS, as is Hamilton, down the pit straight. He's in pursuit of Alex Albon, the Williams. But so far, nothing from either of these two. But we'll see this battle pursue at least for a little while. Piastri leads by 9.4 seconds. Then Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, and Albon, the top 6. The big surprise, Lewis Hamilton gaining 11 spots and getting the fastest lap back, a 149.564. And you can start to see a dry line really showing, the track really drying up. It was so hard of rain about an hour and 45 minutes ago. But now, it doesn't even look like it rained at all. We go to a battle that I wasn't expecting. Russell on the back of Max Verstappen. Of course, Russell, who won the race here last year, but got disqualified for his car being too light, in pursuit of the Red Bull of Verstappen. Gap about 8.8 seconds, 8/10 the gap between the Red Bull and the Mercedes. Right now, there's not a lot of tight battles other than if you want to go more down the midfield. There's a DRS train being formed around 13th place with Alonso, Behrman, and Colapinto. As it looks like the timing screens may have gone out. So hopefully they will fix themselves. It looks like they're just syncing something. So everything will be okay. We're on lap 16 of 44. Oscar Piastri leads by 8.8 seconds over Lando Norris. There we go. But more down the order, you have Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race, a 148.1. So everyone is improving as well. Yeah, the big gain was Verstappen in that last lap, gained 4/10 to Russell, but the gap is now fading. About 5/10 is the gap between 4th and 5th. Hamilton gaining 11 positions. Esteban Ocon now bottom. Yeah, the big gap being formed at the front. I did not help my friend out with her fantasy team, and keeping Esteban was not smart, I guess. But not picking Isaac or Lance was pretty good by me. Honestly, she didn't have like a lot of ways to improve her team. Ooh, Verstappen on the radio. Looks like he's having some problems down the straight. See if Max can figure that, if Red Bull can figure that one out. Also, I forgot to mention, this is the first weekend without Christian Horner for Red Bull. They've done pretty okay so far. Back down the order we go. And it seems we're heading back to the battle. One of the battles in the midfield, because everyone feels like they're all over the back of somebody else right now. Still leading the race is Oscar Piastri with Lando Norris. 9 seconds off. 9 seconds. So we head into Eau Rouge again. The battle we're now following is Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton. DRS will be, I believe, enabled for Hamilton. We'll see what can happen there. For the Ferrari is gaining, and gaining, but not enough. As the other Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, sets the fastest lap of the race. Back even more down the order. Ollie Behrman, the rookie driver, is all over the back of the most experienced driver, Alonso. And past he goes. Around the outside goes Ollie Behrman as he goes past Fernando Alonso. Looks like we had something on the radio from the McLaren of Norris. So it looks like they're going to try and go to the end with Piastri. So this race might get interesting at about 20 laps. Because I don't know if the medium can go to the end. I don't think it will. Piastri's going to have to do a lot of pace management at the end of the race. Or right about now, really. But still out in front is Piastri by a significant margin. It looks like Norris will start to really have a shot at going for it pretty soon. He's been faster at Lando. His fastest lap is about 0.3 better, and he does have the fastest lap now at a 1:46.9. Right now, not a lot of drivers doing anything. It's just a big DRS train in the midfield. As does someone send it? No. Stroll had a chance to send it on. Whoa, big slide from Carlos. Who's 19th. Why did I tell her to keep all common signs? All right, back to the race. Still nothing really going on. It's the only update I have. Putting pressure on the RB of Hadjar is Lance Stroll, and it's Stroll who gets past Isaac Hadjar into 17th. We're currently on lap 18 of 44. Let's take a look at the overtake again. Once again by Stroll. Down the Kemmel straight. And it's Stroll who walks by Hadjar and goes into 17th. Interesting to note, Norris is gaining time to Piastri. Slightly, though. Someone else who's also gaining time is Kimi Antonelli, who's all over the back of Franco Colapinto down in 15th. Norris, it's the fastest lap again, and is slowly gaining time back to Piastri. As we continue to watch this battle between the Alpine of Colapinto and the Mercedes of Antonelli. Down they go in De La Source, but it is still Colapinto who is ahead of the rookie driver and the teenager in Antonelli. Just a big DRS train. That's what this is. It looks like we might have an overtake on the cards as the gap is less than 0.2 of a second. Colapinto under real pressure now for Kimi Antonelli as they head down the Kemmel straight. Antonelli will have DRS. He will have a shot, but good defending by Colapinto. to keep Antonelli out in front of him. Keep Antonelli behind him, rather. Yeah, not a lot of battles going on. You have this big sweeping right-hander as they head into turn 10. Is still Antonelli behind Colapinto. In comparison, Piastri has just crossed the line to start the next lap. Bortoleto. Just a little bit annoyed Gabby Bortoleto. Saying, let me through, I have more pace. Very interesting moment there. We also had another overtake. It is Carlos Sainz, who does Isaac Hadjar in down the Kemmel Straight. So good driving there from Carlos. So he goes to 18th. Lap 20 of 44. Lando Norris is gaining time again to Piastri, but the gap's still about 8.2 seconds. And it looks like the Saubers will swap positions. So Gabriel Bortoleto will be let through at the end of the Kemmel Straight. As they enter Eau Rouge, the Saubers, who are currently 9th and 10th. So fair play to Sauber this week. Down the inside goes Gabriel Bortoleto, who goes into P9. Back down the straight. Antonelli makes a move. Antonelli walks by Colapinto. And the second Mercedes goes into P15. Nice move there by the youngster. Makes it look easy. And moves up the order now. Antonelli, who's up now 4 places on the day. Good start hit for him. Still a lot to go in the race. Antonelli will take a look at this overtake again. Stayed patient when he needed to. Had a really good exit out of Radion. Easy. Too easy for Kimi. There is Bono, the senior race engineer for Antonelli, who is watching his youngster go continue to try and make moves. He's now in pursuit of Fernando Alonso. Updates from around the order. It looks like Leclerc is starting to gain some ground on Norris, but still Piastri out in front, who is already down, heading into turn number 8. Exits 8, now enters 9. Norris still a ways behind him. As into the pits comes Isaac Hadjar again. Is it a second gamble coming from VCarb? They have nothing to lose. It's the hard tires onto Hadjar. So we'll see if that works. Down the straight, the Kemmel Straight we go. And we're looking at the battle at 16th with Franco Colapinto and Lance Stroll going wheel to wheel, but it's still Alpine who stays in front. So you go way ahead, more ahead, and Piastri is possibly considering to try and go to the end, but says it will be tough to go to the end. So McLaren's gamble with Lando's gonna work. That's unbelievable that is gonna work. Because if Piastri pits and Lando stays out in front, Lando will not have to pit again. This is miraculous stuff. Is not a lot of people think they can go to the end. Piastri said there's a lot of degrading on the tires, so it'll be tough to go to the end, and Lando is gaining time. This will be fun. Just like this battle between Lance Stroll and Franco Colapinto into the bus stop, but it's still Colapinto out in front. The Argentine staying in front of the French Canadian. Down the pit straight we go. DRS open for Stroll again, but he's still is unable to make a move on Colapinto for now, but he has a pretty okay exit out of La Sauce and is now pushing on towards Eau Rouge, trying to overtake Franco Colapinto again. Enters and exits into the Camel Straight. DRS wide open. Can Stroll do it here to try and get into 16th position around the outside? And there goes Lance Stroll. Brilliant overtake. And he goes into 16th position. Great driving. I know I'm this energetic over and overtaking the 16th. I know. Allow it. Overtake award. Who wins it? Honestly, I don't know who wins it. What we're seeing right now, though, is a struggle to warm up the hard tires. Isaac Hadjar, who pitted and is now last. Is this updating? Yeah. Let me fix that for you guys. Yeah, for some reason, it's not showing that Hadjar pitted. I'm trying to refresh and resync it. We'll see. The medium tire is degrading fast, as Carlos Sainz. Can Norris even get to the end? Like, I don't even know. It's still not loading. I don't know what the hell is going on. For some reason, it's just not loading. The Hadjar is on the hard, but I don't know what's going on with that. Something's apparently wrong with my timing sheet, so we'll work on figuring that out. Yeah, but the other one I have saying he is on like the hards and it's working fine. Yeah, not really any battles going on. This race has been kind of an L. Still say the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Right now, still out in front is Oscar Piastri. There's Pierre Gasly, who's currently in P11. Leading that DRS train is Gasly, followed by Tsunoda, Alonso, and Behrman. Right behind Behrman was Colapinto, and then it would be, correction, is after Behrman, it's Alonso and Antonelli, Stroll, Colapinto. I don't know why the timing grid is not working right now, but the lap counter is correct because we're on lap 24 of 44, and no one is really doing anything. Honestly, you can just be on your phone and you'll probably not miss really anything throughout this race. Right now, we're still following the battle for 11th with Gasly, Tsunoda, Behrman, and Alonso. As Piastri continues to lead by forever, it feels like. Kimi Antonelli has the fastest first sector. He's looking in the Red Bull garage. There's John Newman, DJ and singer-songwriter. I don't know who he is. Maybe one of y'all could say who he is in the chat. Back to the battle for 11th, because this is the only interesting happening on track at the moment. Really do not know why this is not working. But yeah, we're just trying to follow a battle because there's not really any of them on track at the moment. Other than this battle for 11th with Gasly trying to find a way to get into the points. As they enter and exit the bus stop, we'll see who has the best exit and if there can be an overtake. Lando Norris sits the fastest lap of the race, but still not gaining as much ground as he would like. The gap's still about 8 seconds, between Lando and Piastri. Hard tires not really doing anything at the moment. That's the one thing we've learned. Into the Camel Straight we go. Pierre Gasly under pressure from Tsunoda. Can there be an overtake? No. Brilliant. I think the biggest difference right now is a lot of teams are either succeeding in sectors 1 and 3 or 2. It's like where a team's succeeding in sector 2 and that's it. It's like the difference between Ferrari and the Williams. The Williams has done really well in sectors 1 and 3, but 2 they've been atrocious. And Lewis Hamilton, who's trying to close the gap to Alex Albon, is not going very well. But Hamilton took 5/10 out of Albon last lap. So yeah, still not a lot going on in the race, which is pretty unfortunate. For some reason, this thing is still not saying that our boy Hadjar is bottom on different tires. I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, we've been under green flags since we started behind the safety car. Right now, we can see the hard tire actually starting to succeed more now, which is going to make this really interesting. Yeah, nothing other than that, not a lot else has been happening throughout this contest. We have 18 laps to go, so really we have about 30 minutes of racing to go. So riding on board now with Kimi Antonelli, who's on the back of the Aston Martin, but still can't get an overtake done. But he's right on the gearbox. Is Kimi Antonelli on the back of Fernando Alonso? But still no changes in the order at that part right now. Someone's going to have to gamble for the hard now. Someone's going to have to do it. All alone is Piastri. Lando Norris lost a second that last lap. Something must have just happened. He lost 1.2 seconds that lap. Something must have happened with Norris's car. Because he lost 1.2 seconds that lap. He went off. He went off at turn 10 on the previous lap, and that caused him to lose a fair bit of time from what we're reading. Question will be, can Oscar get to the end? With 17 laps to go, it's starting to feel like he can. If Oscar were to pit now, he'd be at about 5th, but would be on way better tires. Someone pitted. Carlos Sainz is in the box. Box for Williams. So Sainz will take the gamble. Or is he pitting to retire? It still says in pit. Sainz is out. He's ready to go again. We'll see what tire he is on in a moment. It looks like the hard tire is on for Carlos Sainz as we even overtake Kimi Antonelli down the inside, able to overtake Lance Stroll into 14th position. So nice work there by Kimi Antonelli. Right now, a big surprise, you had to ask me for one, is that the Saubers are actually way quicker than I thought they would be. Gabriel Bortoleto is flying. He's made a significant gap between him and Nico Hulkenberg. I didn't think would happen. As we continue this battle for P6, Hamilton is shrinking the gap between himself and Alex Albon. Hamilton, who had a lot of work to do after starting P18, is already up into 7th position, doing a lot of good stuff for the Ferrari team. Right now, we're still on board with Alex Albon, who is still in front of Hamilton, 1.5 seconds the gap. That likely will be shrinking soon. As we have a black and white flag for Carlos Sainz, who is on the fringe of track limits. So one more of those, and he'll be getting some penalties coming his way. Track limits at turn 4. Right now we're back to the battle for 13th. And Kimi Antonelli is putting pressure again, this time on Ollie Behrman. Still is a part of that long DRS train that's hasn't made a lot of progress. Lando Norris is starting to gain time on Piastri again. Fastest lap goes to Lando. But he's not doing a lot. That's might be starting to drive some fans a little bit crazy. Lando Norris fastest lap 1:45.9. Back to the racing again. Still out in front of this big pack is Pierre Gasly ahead of Tsunoda, Behrman, Antonelli, and Alonso in the battle for 11th through 15th. On lap 29 of 44, Colapinto is pitting for Alpine. As they're down the Kemmel Straight is where the cameras are right now. Still in the battle for 11th, but Pierre Gasly starting to drive a little bit better as in and out of the box comes Colapinto on new mediums. Interesting call there. See how good those tires are for the 16 laps or so of 15 laps remaining for Franco Colapinto. Pretty soon, you have the feeling that Gasly, Tsunoda, Behrman, Antonelli, Alonso Stroll, and Ocon will all have to pit. Can Carlos Sainz close the gap enough to even Gasly and Hulkenberg to where, say they all have to pit and Sainz can grab a point for Williams, can backdoor a point? That's an interesting call. That could happen. Yeah, other than that, the top 10 have done absolutely nothing for the past hour or so. Well, half an hour, really. So we go back to the Eau Rouge and the Kemmel Straight again. Lewis Hamilton starting to put pressure once more on Alex Albon. DRS open for Hamilton. Closing, but can't close the gap enough to try and get an overtake done. As it looks like we have someone in the pits. It's Alonso. Ooh, that was a little bit of a longer stop than he would have liked. Alonso in and out. A little bit long, but still okay. He was in the pits for about 23 seconds. So if you think about it, if you go back to what we were talking about with Carlos, he actually does not have a lot of help anymore because he is slow. It's just updated. So he needs to start making some ground, Carlos Sainz. If he wants to get anywhere near that fight for 11th. He needs to start gaining time, and soon. We're on lap 31 of 44. Why is this not updating the right lap? I don't know what's going on with the tracker. Ooh, something happened with Norris. Oh, big. Whoa. Big bit of oversteer. And Norris needing to make a big correction. My goodness. You weren't expecting that there. All right, why is F1 Dash not working? I don't know what's going on with this. Yeah, apologies if the dashboard is incorrect. We're trying to figure out a fix for it. Antonelli pits. This will not help anyone. Yeah, Antonelli in and out. 2.3 second stop for the young Mercedes driver. Yeah, the lap counter is completely off. I don't know what's going on with that. There's a quick stop for Antonelli, but he will be put to pressure immediately from Fernando Alonso. So Sainz was not fast enough on those hards to try and move up the order. So right now the battle now is with Antonelli and Alonso, with Sainz years away. 3 drivers on hard tires, and if you look at the championship, Piastri would go up to a 16-point gap between himself and Lando with about 10 races to go. Round 14 will be next week from Hungary. If you'll remember the storyline from last year, it was the maiden F1 win for Oscar Piastri. After he started the race, he was leading the race, and after a pit stop strategy that didn't go Piastri's way, McLaren told Lando to swap back because Piastri was leading the race, and Lando would have only won from having a better pit strategy, which you take that how you will. And there you go. So we'll see how that goes. As we have we go back to our live battles as we head into the Kemmel Straight yet again. It is the Alpine of Gasly who's in front of Tsunoda and Behrman. They need Sauber to pit, honestly. And so you would love to see Alpine, especially Gasly, go and get points. That'd be really, really nice because of how bad of a weekend he's had. He's able to continue to keep Tsunoda and Behrman behind him, which is pretty impressive. Interestingly, Norris is gaining time to Piastri. Ever so slightly, though. It might not be enough in the end. This timing screen is driving me nuts. Let me try to refresh it one more time. Hold on one sec, guys. My apologies there, chat. We were having some more technical difficulties, but it looks like they somewhat are resolved. Big notice, we just learned that Nico Hulkenberg pitted, is now down there in 14th. So it is an opportunity to see if Alpine can maybe go out. They're going to be able to get the last point. Someone else, because they're in 10th now. Piastri thinks he can go to the end. That's not good for Lando Norris, but they might still have a battle towards the end as Esteban Ocon gets past Nico Hulkenberg, and into 14th goes the Haas. Hulkenberg will be on the better tires, so we'll see how that battle continues to play out as well. We'll see if Gasly can hold on to that point. That'd be really big for him. 10 laps to go ish. And is still Piastri out in front. He actually did much better that lap, gained 3/10 to Lando. Got 3/10 back, I should say. Still the battle between Hamilton and Albon, but it's still the Williams who... Alex Albon's really impressed me. I didn't think he was going to be this good in the rain here. I thought it was going to be Carlos because he's done well here before. But nope, it's Albon. I picked the wrong Williams, man. Damn. But we go to the battle again, and Hamilton is on the back of Alex Albon, but it's still Albon who remains out in front of the Ferrari. You got to imagine that Hamilton would be pretty happy with how this is going since he's overtaking everyone. Something happened with Norris again. Let's see what happened down into turn 1. Oh, big lockup of the front right. Lost about 6/10 there. Now, Lando is not having the best race today. In a race where he needed to have a good performance, just has not been there for the lead. What some would think is the lead McLaren, or if you think it's Piastri, who knows? But what we do know is there's an overtake. Nico Hulkenberg down the Kemmel Straight, down the inside, and it's the Sauber that goes up a spot again as he overtakes Esteban Ocon. So, Ocon will be under pressure again, this time from Antonelli, who's on the better medium tire. Ocon under major pressure from Antonelli. Antonelli, the Mercedes, is right all over the back of the Haas car. As they go out of turn 10, it is still the Haas out in front. Yeah, the hard tire doing no favors right now. They say he's naturally quicker than Oscar Piastri. But it's just Lando making some careless errors that's really not helped him today. But it's still Piastri out in front by 8 seconds or so. Leclerc third, then Verstappen, Russell, Albon, Hamilton, Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Pierre Gasly. As we go into the bus stop chicane, Kimi Antonelli is all over the back of Esteban Ocon yet again. Can they make an overtake in the La Sauce? Can he send it? No. It is still the Haas in front, but probably not out of the exit of Eau Rouge and Radion. This will be interesting. Into the iconic turn we go. Ocon in front. It's high speed, foot to the floor. Here comes Antonelli again. DRS open. Kimi Antonelli all over the back of the Haas. He tries to go around the outside. Ocon almost forces him off the track, but it's Kimi Antonelli who got the move done for now. But Ocon with the switchback. Incredible by the French driver. Esteban Ocon holds on to 15th for now. Here on lap 36. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We'll take a look at that move once again. And the shocking part to me was Ocon almost forced Antonelli wide, but it wasn't a good exit from Antonelli because he almost went over the curb in the chicane to turn 6, rather. It wasn't really a chicane. It was into turn 6. Antonelli almost went over the curb, and Ocon took the opportunity to get back P15. Excellent work by him. This battle continues between Kimi Antonelli and Esteban Ocon down there for 15th position. It isn't for a point, but it is for pride. here in Belgium. A race that started 90 minutes after it was supposed to, give or take a minute or so, has brought us some drama, but not really anything other than a lap 5, technically. A little bit of turmoil between Norris and Piastri, where Oscar Piastri overtook Lando on the Kemmel Straight, and that is why the gap is where it is. Now, Norris is gaining significant time to Piastri on that last lap. But know who else is gaining time? It is Kimi Antonelli, who is all over the back again of Esteban Ocon, but it's just too far for Piastri, for Antonelli to get the overtake done on the Frenchman. Ocon, of course, driving his first full season with the Haas team. Back up the order we go. The battle continues between the Williams of Alex Albon and the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. As we currently look at the vote for driver of the day, I think everyone got it right with it being Lewis Hamilton, who's made up not 1, not 2, but 11 places here in this race. Started 18th. They nailed the strategy with Lewis, and now he's up to P7. But he's trying to get past the Williams of Alex Albon, but really hasn't not been able to. It has been a struggle for him today. Right now, Lando Norris has gained a second over the last 2 laps combined. The gap is starting to close, but has Lando run out of time already? Gap's about 6.7 with 7 laps to go. As we head through, we're going back to Eau Rouge again, and the battle continues with Gasly, Tsunoda, and Ollie Behrman. I don't know how any of those 3 are getting to the end on these tires. That's freaking impressive. It's been pretty good from Pierre Gasly, but he has Tsunoda pressuring him again. But it's Gasly remains out in front. Good work there by the Frenchman to stay calm and continue doing what he's doing as he remains out there in 10th position. Then it's Tsunoda and Behrman who are trying to put pressure on Esteban. On Pierre Gasly, but no sir from those 2 so far. Norris gaining time again, gained 4/10 that lap. He needs to gain, 6/10 that lap. It was originally 4, now it's 6. And Lando, he needs to get about a second out of this lap if he wants any chance of winning this. So the couple of mistakes will really hurt Lando today, but it's a big move. If you love Oscar Piastri, it's a big win for him to try and kill Lando's momentum. But speaking of momentum, it looks like Yuki Tsunoda might have some trying to get past Pierre Gasly, but it's still Gasly who remains out in front for that final point spot. Here they go into the bus stop, but still nothing there. As we're on lap 38 of 44. As something happened. What happened with Charles Leclerc? Ooh, a big lockup of the front right. He lost about 8/10 there. Front lockup of Leclerc into the bus stop. Pretty bad break for him there. And that current time. Update, Piastri is starting to lap people, as expected. He is currently trying to lap Isaac Hadjar, from what we're seeing on my timing screen. Really got a different timing screen because it looks like the one we're using is not functioning as it should. Because my apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it up there for now, but Norris took a big chunk out of Piastri there. Took about a second. Gap's down to 5.5. Yeah, this is not working. So it says it's 8 seconds. I don't know what's going on. Next time I'll just use this one to my right. But I can't change it now, which is unfortunate. But the only thing we know right now is that this is coming off, and I'll do more radio style for this race for the remainder of the duration of the Grand Prix. 5 laps to go. Lando Norris is gaining time on Oscar Piastri. Gap down to 5.2. Who? And the lap counter is not working either. It's no, it's not. Next time we'll have manual lap counter if we do F1 again. Gap down to 5 seconds. 5 seconds, Chef. 5 seconds. Instead of $5 foot long, it's 5-second gap. But right now, Norris's problem is he does have a lapped car in the way in Isaac Hadjar. But Piastri's gap is shrinking dramatically. Gap now under 5 seconds. Norris needs to just continue what he's doing, and he will have a shot, maybe, on the final lap. Just like some of these other drivers who are trying to make moves to try and maybe get 1 point. One of them is Ali Behrman, who's currently in 12th. All over the back of Yuki Tsunoda was thinking about a move, but could not make one there. It is still the same order for 10th, 11th, and 12th as we even overtake Hulkenberg to 13th. He's overtaken Lance Stroll. Good work there by Nico. So we'll look at the more accurate timing screens now. One that I find more fitting. Lando gap down to 4.5 seconds. This is wild. Absolutely wild. Will someone be able to make an overtake in the back end of this race? Because Lando will have to send it on Piastri somewhere if he gets close enough, but I don't think he will. Back to the hunt for 15th. Esteban Ocon staying in front of Kimi Antonelli, only for now. Can Antonelli think about making a move? Antonelli staying behind just for a moment. Still doing his job, doing pretty good. Big slide from Antonelli. Got a little bit worrisome there out of the exit of 15. As they head towards 16, it's still the Haas in front for now. Norris has gained about 2.6 seconds over the last 4 laps. Norris is improving drastically in the third sector. Gap down to about 4.4. And there are cells of rain developing, but I don't think it'll be able to affect anything in this race, at least at this point. But my goodness, could we see something very late happen at the end of the Grand Prix? Right now, I don't think so, but a little bit of a scare there from the V-Car pit wall. Speaking of V-Car, they've done pretty okay today. Hadjar, though, not his day out there in P20, but a big day for Liam Lawson, who's currently sitting P8. Right now, we're back on board with Lando Norris. Good job there in turn 1. Oh, a little bit of a correction there. Might lose a little bit of time. That's something you just can't do at this point of the race. Bad break there for Norris again. So we are back actually now focusing on the race between 15th, 16th, and 17th. Ocon, Antonelli, Alonso out of the big sweeping right-hander. Ocon trying to stay out in front into turn 15 we go. Well, now we'll be heading towards turn 15. Goes the Haas. Norris is back to gaining time on Antonelli again, but it might be a little bit too late, and it looks like it will be. A late Norris charge will likely not push Piastri enough. He had an opportunity, Lando, but did not have enough today with 3 laps to go. Norris, who had that, only gained about 4/10 that lap. Needs to have done significantly more, as we're still at this battle for 15th. Ocon staying in front of Antonelli only for now. But what a race today. We've seen some good and some bad and some boredom, but that's what happens sometimes with these Formula One races. As we're into the Camel Straight again, Ocon under pressure from Kimi Antonelli and the correction, the Aston Martin of Alonso, but it's still those 3 staying in the same order here on lap 42. The gap is still shrinking between the McLarens, but it will not be enough. as the first racing lap move by Piastri is the only one he's going to need to make here today, as it looks like it will be Piastri taking the checkered flag in just about 2 laps. There could be a few raindrops in the turn 1. Someone might bin it into La Sauce. Let the possible late dramatics begin. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. All I know is that Norris is gaining time again, but it's not going to be enough unless Piastri sends it into the wall at turn 1. That's it. Into 12 now goes Piastri. Norris still gaining some time. It's down to 3.3, now 3.1. Norris, who started the race on pole, will not have enough likely unless a late mistake by Piastri happens. Piastri started second, is currently in the lead. It'll be the second race in a row. We had the sprint yesterday in this race where the pole sitter got overtaken on the first racing lap and did not go on to win it. There's Piastri. 3.1 seconds clear of Lando Norris with 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go here in Belgium. Norris pretty slow out of La Sauce. Did you see actually a little bit of the drops? I believe those are raindrops. Out there at turn 1. But yeah, Lando lost a lot of time. It's all over now. William Joseph and Lando both know it. There's a poor move into turn 1, and that's going to do him in. The hard tire just not very good in the rain at all. We'll see if there's any bad move by Piastri, but it looks like it's all over now. There's Jackie Ickx, 8-time race winner in Formula 1. He'll be waving the checkered flag when the race concludes. Gap to 5 seconds. It's all over now. Piastri is going to take the victory. And it seems that way with about 20 corners to go. 1 lap to go here in the Belgian Grand Prix, and we'll take you through most of Piastri's lap. Well, it's about to start now, actually. Down into turn. He's actually just exited the bus stop chicane. Let's talk this final lap for Oscar Piastri, who got sprint pole, couldn't take the win home, now is leading the main race, and will try to finish off a solid weekend for himself. Good job there through turn 1. Into Eau Rouge he goes. Enters confident, exits strong. That's how you describe Piastri's race today. As he gets a big roar from the crowd. As that right behind him, well, somewhat right behind him is Lando Norris, about 5 seconds behind. Piastri remains in front. Down he goes into set to 8 and 9. Piastri staying within the lines. No wrong. He feels like he could do no wrong. Down the big sweeping left-hander of 10 and 11. Piastri staying on the track. That's all he's got to do is keep it on track, Oscar Piastri. And there he goes around the right-hander at 15. And now only 4 corners to go for Oscar Piastri. Into 16, now into 17. Piastri, who couldn't get it done yesterday in the sprint. It may not have been the most eventful race for him as he enters and exits the bus stop chicane. It will be a McLaren 1-2. It's party time for Piastri. He wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Lando Norris comes home to take second, and will likely be Charles Leclerc third. Oscar Piastri wins again. Charles Leclerc enters and exits the bus stop. It'll be third for the Ferrari, P4 for Verstappen. And then it will likely be George Russell, who will be next across the line. It is all McLaren again, but it's a race win, another race win for Oscar Piastri. His first full race win here at Spa. He won the sprint last year. Now he gets the main race win, and you can see the radio messages. You could see the emotion. He's loving it as a very, very big win for Oscar Piastri. Alex Albon takes 6th, 7th for Hamilton, 8th for Liam Lawson. Big weekend for Gabriel Bortoleto. He finishes 9th and gets a couple points. Great effort from Pierre Gasly, who struggled yesterday and finishes 10th. Then it's Behrman, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, who got overtaken by Hulkenberg, actually. Stroll, Ocon, Antonelli, Alonso, then Carlos Sainz, Franco Colapinto, and Isaac Hadjar complete the grid. It is all over here in Belgium. We thought it might have been Norris's day, but Piastri spoils his efforts, and after a nice move into Radion, is Oscar Piastri, who gets the job done at Spa, as you will now lead the championship by double-digit points once again. It was a phenomenal effort from the Aussie, who was able to manage his tires very well at the end. It's a little bit of a frustrating one from Norris, who starts from pole but doesn't get the win once again. He was confident in Silverstone. Didn't have it today, but knows he's right on the doorstep of making a big move late on. And you can still see the appreciation. They appreciate each other, both McLarens. There's Charles Leclerc, who gets a P3 for Ferrari. The driver of the day for RBTV is Lewis Hamilton, who moves up 11 spots in the order in the end. Big shout out to Pierre Gasly, who goes out and gets a point for Alpine. A car that we thought would struggle all weekend goes out and gets a point at the end of the day. That will do it here on RBTV after a very, very long stream today. Shout out to everyone who can make it. The final order: Piastri wins, then Norris and Leclerc complete the podium. Verstappen 4th, George Russell 5th, Alex Albon 6th. Then it's Lewis Hamilton, who started 18th, finishes 7th. Then Liam Lawson in 8th, Gabriel Bortoleto in 9th, and Pierre Gasly finish off the points. Let me move this over, as that will do it for today's stream. I'm Robbie Basil. Thank you so much for being with me today. Just one moment, chat. We'll say thank you again. Supposed to do this earlier. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been such a fun stream. And hopefully we may do F1 in the future. Shows of return again next week. And hopefully you guys can tune into those as well. I'm Robbie Basil saying so long. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everybody.